Your Excellency, we the undersigned Zimbabweans, acting under the united banner of M31 movement, stand before this embassy not as beggars of justice, but as rightful heirs of Zimbabwe's constitutional promise. Betrayed, brutalized, and silenced by illegitimate administration headed by Mr. Emmerson Mnangagwa. We write to you, Ambassador, with rage burning in our hearts and law in our hands. We declare that we will no longer be silent. Citizens like Nyokayemabhunu are subjected to transnational political persecution and unlawful attempts at extradition. The embassy colludes with the Zimbabwean regime to forge criminal dockets, manufacture fake identities, and manipulate South African legal processes for political gain. And systematic corruption continues to hollow our every institution of government in Zimbabwe, while its citizens languish in poverty and in fear. A regime whose head of state is clearly incapacitated continues to occupy office unconstitutionally and against the national interest. We declare that these actions constitute violations of international law, abuse of diplomatic immunity, obstruction of justice in foreign jurisdiction, and breach of the Zimbabwean Constitution, particularly Section 59, which talks about equality and non-discrimination. Also, Section 58 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which talks about the freedom of assembly and association. Section 59 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, right to demonstrate and to petition. And Section 70 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, right. We further submit that the continued persecution of fellow comrade Nyokayemabhunu for standing up on human rights, for standing up for Zimbabwe, who has committed no crime except to articulation of dissent, amounts to a political crime. It is egregious violation of international refugees protection, and including provisions of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights and the UN Convention Against Torture. We put it to you that Mr. Mnangagwa is no longer fit for office, physically or morally, and must relinquish power immediately in accordance with Section 96 of the Constitution. I want to repeat this. Mr. Ambassador, we put it to you that your principal, Mr. Mnangagwa, is no longer fit for office, physically or morally, and must relinquish power immediately in accordance with Section 96 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Therefore, Mr. Ambassador, we demand the following. Number one, that the Zimbabwean Embassy immediately cease and desist from interfering in the legal and asylum processes of Zimbabweans in South Africa, particularly the case of Comrade Nyokayemabhunu. Number two, we demand that all personnel involved in the forging of documents and unlawful collusion with security agencies be investigated and reported. Number three, we demand that President Mnangagwa immediately vacate office due to incapacitation and systematic failure to govern. Let me repeat number four. It's important that President Emmerson Mnangagwa, the President of Zimbabwe, immediately vacate offices due to incapacitation and systematic failure to govern. Number five, that the government of Zimbabwe establish a transitional process led by independent and credible actors to restore constitutionalism and impunity and prepare for the fresh elections. Failure to address these, Comrade Ambassador, we will result in the expansion of lawful and peaceful civic resistance, both inside and outside Zimbabwe. This is not a plea. It is a warning, Mr. Ambassador. History is watching you. The people are awakening. Mr. Ambassador, let me repeat this once more. Failure to address this demand with your principle. This will result in the expansion of lawful and peaceful civic resistance, both inside the country and outside Zimbabwe. This is not a plea. We are not begging you, Mr. Hamadzripi. We are not begging you, sir. It is a warning. History is watching you. History will judge you. And history will stone you to death. That the people of Zimbabwe are dying on a daily basis, seeking medical attention in a hospital. And the hospitals are not functioning. The hospital system is in the intensive care unit. Nothing is working. People are not going to school. The teachers have done their tools. The security system is not serving the people of Zimbabwe, but it's serving those who are around President Mnangagwa. President Mnangagwa has used patronage. His wife is in the cabinet. Their sons are in the cabinet. The other son is in the Ministry of Finance. They are controlling the health sector. His wife, the president's wife, is the ambassador of health, but the health is in the intensive care unit. So what she's doing? So we ask President Mnangagwa that this is the final warning. We are giving it to you. Failure to adhere to this demand, we are going to organize. We want to, remind him about the Arab Revolution. It happened. We had dictators who were so strong, who thought that they're invincible and they cannot leave office. We have Gaddafi in Libya. Gaddafi was removed. We have other people in Egypt. We have all the dictators who thought they were invincible. Mugabe himself at one point, he tortured us. He tortured everything. But at the end of the day, he vacated office. So President Mnangagwa, Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa, no one knows tomorrow. You are going to leave that office and you are going to face the same citizens. You are going to face the same Zimbabweans who you are abusing today, who you are treating like kids. You cannot imagine that in the 21st century, the country is struggling with bed bugs. We have the kids, the whole country. People cannot go to bed because the whole country people are not sleeping because of bed bugs. In 21st century, the whole country is failing to deal with those issues. So, Mr. Amadribi, our demands are just but legit. Our demands are just but legit. Please tell your principal, Mr. Mnangagwa, that the Zimbabweans are tired. He must leave office. He failed, and he failed Zimbabweans. Our comrades are why. To hand over this petition, we don't know. We know the culture of this embassy. That for quite a long time, they have been refusing to accept and take our memorandum. We have a petition which we want to hand over. And I hope they are going to accept our petition. They are going to accept this memorandum. The people of Zimbabwe are saying, we might be short of words, but from this paper we're putting our demands. From this paper we're putting our issues, which we are going to hand over to you, Ambassador, so that you send your principal, so that you send to the administration.